This is Josiah Plays Masquerada, Songs and Shadows. And we've just had a very important talk with Vint, where she called us out, let us know, in no uncertain terms, that we absolutely need to stand with Calvin. Did not do so as cowardice and weak and beneath us. And I think she managed to convince Cicero. So let's see what happens next.
Herald, this will hurt.
Just get it over with. Is that the last of them?
Yes, Herald. Though, if I might say, the next time you want to heal yourself so rapidly, it would be wise to set the bones right first.
I was under dozens of feet of stone. That tends to complicate healing.
You're right, I apologize. It was quick thinking. Quite likely saved your life.
Dismissed.
For the lady.
I like now how the
He
Herald...
said he would listen.
And he did.
Oh, the lady.
Then why is he not here with me?
It is part of the plan.
The Barati are all gone.
They did not fall into the grander scheme of things.
The lady gives no fucks.
How could they not? You have told me what we need to do. Unite the city, repair the broken Medea. How does the Barati not accomplish that?
You would not understand.
Then help me too. Help me understand why you brought me to such power, only to strip me of it.
The next piece is in their hands, and they needed help before they acted.
In their hands.
The gears are turning. The rivers are flowing. In time, you will see, my child. But till then, you must have faith.
Yes, my lady.
Interesting. So the lady seems like quite an intriguing character. Oh, we're gonna have a moment with Amadea. Maybe the lady's not actually evil or bad. Maybe she really is trying to protect the people from the next cataclysm. I mean, maybe she's actually good. Or maybe she's just pretending to be good and she's actually really super sinister, you know, in disguise. I guess we'll find out. Oh, our good friend Amadea. I like her. She doesn't look super happy as she sits there.
Odd time for reading.
I didn't want to wake the others. You?
Just, thinking. So, you did buy it in the end.
It's a good book. I'm reading about how our people in the Second Canticle still feared the Mascarenes.
I suppose you would be interested in that, wouldn't you?
What do you mean?
It's testament to how knowledge can change the world. The moment you understand the power of something, how it works, what it can do, the way you use it, the way it shapes the world, changes.
And here I was thinking that you hated history.
Oh, I do. Just, not the lessons you could get from it.
Fair. Fair.
Her whole demeanor and personality has changed so much.
Have I got something on my face?
No, it's just, the others were right. You are quite different.
If I might be honest,
I'd like nothing else.
when we realized that you weren't with us in the Golden Canvas, I was scared.
How thoughtful.
The last time I felt that way was when I woke up in the Whispering Streets, after what happened in the White Spire.
When you could have helped Invidious.
Yes. It's the fear of losing something that matters. And I dealt with it 5 years ago, by thinking that it would be better never to have anything to lose than risk losing it all.
That's exactly what
Not
Cicero
completely wrong.
No,
thing was that we just read.
but Lysandra, for 5 years, I had the opportunity to be a part of something that was important to me. I denied myself of it. And now, I know how much more painful that is. I don't want to do it again.
Still, though, you've changed pretty quickly.
Cicero, I don't think you know how much effort it takes to be mean.
It's true.
You going to stay out?
I'd like to read a little more, yes.
All right. Good night, then.
You finished your thinking?
Now I have. Yes.
Good night, Cicero.
Oh, I like the interplay between these two. And I like Amedea and the way her character has an arc and is changing as well. Pretty good stuff. Let's see how Cicero is feeling about Amedea now. And the process is complete. A wonder to behold, truly, how drastically the woman has changed. She has proven herself in possession of a strength I had not anticipated. She has recovered from the grief far more quickly than I would have guessed possible. But now the yoke of her history has slipped off her shoulders, and her sights are set forward. She has stepped out of the fire, purged of the poison of her past, which, in its wake, has left her with a valuable lesson. Regret, despite its softer bark, will prove to be far beastlier a burden than the pain of loss. So try. Recognize that fear is the pernicious seed of regret, and let it not stop you from trying, from doing. If only I had learnt that lesson all those years ago, I believe my life might have turned out rather differently. Yeah, the two of them are so much the same. You know, they both wanted to avoid having connections to things, being part of things, having something to lose, you know, and so they both walled themselves off. And both of them are now realizing that that was a bad idea and that they need to be connected and that they need to be a part of things. Because all of that isolation. All of this rings very familiar and true for me as a person. I can relate to this quite a bit. So another good scene. I love all of Cicero's little one-on-one scenes with the various characters, where he has these sort of heart-to-heart talks with them. Very good.
Calden?
Please, stay out of this.
What is this?
What's he doing?
Solution.
Oh no!
What are you talking about?
He didn't cut off his tattoo, did he? Or he's not cutting off his tattoo?
Calden, what are you doing?
I've thought about it. Zelia cannot know. I will not let her take the Sail Heart from me, or Raz's legacy. She cannot know the truth.
Calden, do not be foolish. Talk to me, please.
I'm sorry, Cicero.
Oh god.
Stop!
What's he doing?
Calden!
No, don't do it, Calden.
Give it back to me.
Put down the flame.
I will do it with or without the Masquerade. How much of my arm will be left after is up to you.
Damn it, Calden, don't do this!
What else am I supposed to do? Allow them to take everything I have from me?
Burning your tattoo away is going to solve nothing!
It will invalidate the journal. I will mend my flesh, clean out Jax's room, and there will be nothing they can use against me.
You will lose everything you have of him, Calden!
I lose either way! At least this will protect the children and my brother's legacy. Razatov, Jaxus, they both would have wanted this.
No, they wouldn't have.
You know that's not true! This needs to stop, Calden. Don't let their deaths be in vain.
Come on, talk about it, Cicero. No!
No!
Oh, damn. Cicero just burned the shit out of his own hand.
Cicero, you damn fool.
Let me see it. Good. Good.
Tides take you. What were you thinking?
You don't deserve to do this to yourself. No one does.
What about the Sailheart, the children? Razatos's chime? Let them take my song, I don't care. But my brother, he should not pay for my wrongs.
There is no wrong to even speak of. If they want to take the Sailheart and your brother's legacy, let them try. Between you and me, I think we can take them on. Vin said a sticky little thing last night. But if you believe in something, you fight for it. You raised her well, Calden.
I didn't do it alone.
You won't have to let them know. We'll go to the Hall of Songs first, settle this issue with Zelia and Orlana, and then we'll come back.
Then it is your turn to tell us everything, yes?
It is. Now,
Leaving already?
Not this time, boys.
They're not gonna let us go alone.
the two of you should be resting. The Fae hasn't come back yet.
And let Calden deal with this by himself.
What?
Please, Mariner. You were screaming last night. You really thought no one else would hear?
You know?
Surprise.
And Vasco?
Yes? Vasco?
His metal is impressive.
What's going on?
He woke me up before dawn, asked for my help.
To what?
To...
To speak.
And?
Not perfect. Mind muddled. Languages floating. But better.
Vasco, I'm...
No. Now is the mariner's time. To share... I support you.
Thank you.
Besides, your personal life is your own, as long as it doesn't get in the way of the investigation.
And since the investigation is waiting for the return of our supernatural friend...
I don't believe this.
This world, not always hopeless.
I guess not.
Come on. I think the coach has space for one more. The others can stay back, in case our Fae returns.
Wow. So everybody lined up to go support Calden. That's wonderful. More about Calden, more about Vasco. There comes a point in time when a choice must be made. It is safe to think that we can pass through our lives without standing for something, and for a long time that's what I did. I thought that perhaps I might be able to walk the ever-narrowing path between factions, between beliefs, between ideals, for the sake of my safety and those who I cared about. I thought that perhaps by never choosing to fight for something, I'd be safe. After all, if I didn't stand with it, I wouldn't fall with it either. And that was fine, until the world in which I live reminded me that it doesn't operate quite so simply. It is a fool's errand to think that one might be able to call oneself independent of belief. To say that they invest their faith in nothing is idiosyncratic. In putting forth that statement, they have proclaimed their belief in it to be true. They have faith in its authenticity, even if nothing else. Therefore, it has been, by its nature, defied. See, that's what I always say. In different words. So it is with the choices we make in our lives. To deny the responsibility of making a choice is a choice in and of itself. It is willful ignorance. It is the choice to stand by and watch the world pass, and we are responsible for the choices we make, whether they be the choice to incite civil war or the choice to subscribe to inaction. But yet, even as I form those thoughts in my head, I know they simplify the reality of the situation. We are not merely responsible for our choices, We are our choices. We are what we choose to be. And I will not allow my cowardice, my fear of fighting, of losing, to define me. I cannot. I have done it before, and I have caused suffering not only for myself, but for too many others, and I will not do it again. Halden, if ever you find this, know that I am eternally grateful that you entered my life, for you brought with you a lesson I will never forget. You taught me how to believe again. Thank you. Oh, I love this game. So good. The protagonist and the companions have such impact on one another. They affect each other so much. It's pretty great. Vasco Tessitore, the Fourth. I am surprised that he still remains with us after all that has happened. Is his lust for power, for the artifacts, truly that strong? Somehow I find that conviction insufficient to justify his actions, both prior and present. When we were in the Sunken Star, he'd said to me that he'd not abandon me again. There in his eyes I saw an apology. I saw grief and remorse, but not their roots. What had he done that warranted such a confession? What secrets of ours must he have divulged, and what had he gained in the process? Again, I have no answers, but I find that bothers me less than it should. He saved my life. If he had ratted us out, I don't believe I'd be able to hold that against him in the light of his recent actions. Yeah, Vasco's definitely part of the team. He's definitely our buddy. He's proven himself. No doubt. The only one that I'm still not 100% on board with is Tiziana. But I have a feeling she's going to come around and prove herself as well. Alright, so now I have to have some conversations, it looks like, with various members of the team, which is great.
I'd like to thank you, Marshal, for being so accepting of the Mariner.
It isn't so much a feat as you describe it.
I beg to differ. Supporting Italios isn't quite the most orthodox action.
The Lucca aren't known for standing up for what is orthodox, Inspectore. We're known to stand up for what's right.
Another verse from the Bright Chorus?
No. My father, this time.
They're wise words. I only wish more people listened to them these days.
We should be getting ready, Inspectore.
Of course.
So see, she's not so bad. She is more like her father than I thought. Standing up for what's right instead of what's orthodox, that's awesome. Again, she displays confusing behaviors, standing up for Calden despite the circumstances. That is not something a Lucca who follows so strictly the ways of their guild would do. In fact, that is an act I'd be less surprised to find endorsed by the Bright Chorus. The more I observe the choices she makes, the more I realize how much about her I have yet to understand. Yeah, Tiziana's a little more complicated than she first appears. Let's have a chat with Ven.
Quite eventful these days have been. First our poor friend Salts, and now we learn that another is Talios. You've always been a magnet for the dramatic, you know.
You don't have to tell me twice. Do thank Livia for me, if you get the chance. It's sweet of her, taking care of Vasco like that.
What can I say? Your friends are our friends, Cicero.
Even the Mariner?
I was from Rome, Cicero. Our customs are rather different over there. Besides, if there's one thing living in this city does to people, it's open minds. You don't survive long in a world of fire and ice with such narrow vision.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Narrow vision. This is Vasco and Livia.
1.
1.
Again. 1.
1.
2.
2.
3.
3.
Again. 3.
They'll fail.
It's all right. Let's try that again, from the beginning. 1.
So she's basically reteaching him how to speak. Or how to speak our language, at least. Oh, it's Amadea. Looking at the menu.
It was nice, what you did for Calden.
He's gone through enough. It would be awful to make things any harder for him.
Do you have something else on your mind? You sound a little distracted.
Well, I do, actually. That Fae that you created last night. How?
Kyrie's explained it all to us.
No, I meant the Scythe. What were you thinking of? What did you use?
It's not the shortest story. Are you certain you want to hear it?
I do.
I'm sure we can spare a little time.
When I was younger, I had been Contadani. I had always thought the Portieri guards that patrolled the spire had the ripest purses. I haunted the streets around it like a specter. Me and my fruit knife.
You? A cut purse?
I did not learn all my skills from the registry, no. One day, I got caught, and the Portieri dragged me by my heels up the grand stairs. When we came to the top, I had my breath taken from me. Sprawled out before me was the city that I had hated for cursing me and my family with poverty. But at that moment, from that vantage point, it suddenly seemed beautiful. The guards turned to me and asked me what I was doing. I turned to them and said, I want to be a Portieri.
What did they do then?
Clubbed me over the back of my head.
No, they didn't.
I woke up in a cell, told my story to the Valencio at the time, and the rest is a story of history.
And you used that?
That moment at the top of the stairs, looking out at the city. I was remembering the wonderment, the drive to make it better, the awe at its beauty, the curiosity at its secrets. And then that Fae materialized.
I see. Thank you for sharing.
Come on, let's get ready.
Cicero's awesome. He's a great protagonist. He's complicated, he's struggling with things, but he's very likable. And I like all the companions as well. Even Tiziana, she's not so bad. He's certainly my least favorite still, but she's not so bad. She's a product of her upbringing, you know? Can't really hold it against her if she's a little bit too uppity paladin-like. Alright, so let's go outside. So what are we actually doing now? I can go back to the training hall, but I don't have a reason to. We can... Oh, Calden's waiting in the coach, carriage, whatever. So let's see if we want to do anything with our inks and engravings. So we've got mask charge, movement speed, hit points, focus, just restores focus. Oh, it's Lionara. There's still a few inks left undiscovered. We're gonna stick with that. Oh, this one does a lot of damage, but it has a small proc chance. 30 and 15. 15 and 30. It's like the opposite of Vim. Still quite a few engravings left to find. We're gonna stick with Vim, though. We're gonna stick with Vidoria Vim for everybody. For now. Training room. Don't need to go in there. Alright, here we go. Heading out to go help Calden, however it is that we're going to do that exactly.
Where to, sir?
The Hall of Songs, please.
Kaladin's obviously in the party, and of course, Amadea is going to be our other selection. Here we are, back outside the Hall of Songs. Yet again. Had Matron know about this? Oh, wow. That's cool. He wants to dedicate a song, a chime, to the women that were victimized by the Withering Mast. The women that were forced into prostitution and had their babies taken away and held as hostages, you know, to threaten them. That's really cool. That's really cool. Somebody's actually acknowledging that what they went through was terrible. Okay, they're talking about me. Things aren't going well for him. Old, like nursery rhyme going on there.
Cicero. If things do not go well inside...
I will not abandon you.
It's not that. I need you to know how grateful I am for everything that you've already done.
Back at you, bro.
You'll be fine, Kaladin.
And this is his brother's?
Yes, Head Matron. I spoke with Mirabas after Kaladin had visited the hall some days ago. She told me that his brother had intended this for him.
He rarely spoke of this brother of his.
Of course. His family likely was too ashamed to call him their blood. Their chimes would be in jeopardy.
As they are in your hands?
Ah, Kaladin. It's a pleasure to see you.
Likewise, Head Matron.
And Inspectore Gavar, it's been a while.
Head Matron?
Now, Mariner, you are aware of the reason you have been called here?
I have my suspicions.
Your sleeve, then, if you will.
Matron, if I might have a...
Your sleeve, Kaladin.
Yes, he has the tattoo.
There, Matron. It is true.
What is true? Exactly.
Matron, I spoke of this earlier. That tattoo is proof that...
That what? Answer me precisely, if you would.
And Orlana is not a good person.
Kaladin has a tattoo. And I do not see anything unusual about art on the skin.
But that tattoo is evidence that he deserves to be punished.
For what? Precisely.
He is Talios.
And is that my business, or is it his?
Oh, Zelia's making...
him.
She's winning points with me right now.
As a matron should, for her own people.
Nice.
This is against the laws of society.
Society governs those laws, songstress. And as the leader of a large part of that society, I choose to stand by this man.
Oh, she's all right.
No.
The hell is wrong with Orlana?
Kaladin! Zelia.
I will call for Mirabas.
Thank you.
Alright, well, Mira Boss and I are homies, so that should go good. Back at the crest of the singing tree.
Orlana, please.
Stay back!
Please, Orlana, put the chime down.
Do not tell me what to do, beast! You corrupted my brother!
Listen to me, please!
How did you defile his mind?
I did not!
Liar! You must have fed him something, given him some poison to turn him into a beast like you!
I did no such thing.
She is really prejudiced.
He was my brother, and you took him away from me! I loved him!
As did I! You speak of poisons and defilement and treachery. The truth is far simpler. I loved him.
But you took him away from me. You took away my brother and replaced him with something else.
That is not true. He was always the same romantic, sentimental man that you grew up with. This doesn't change that. If there is a reason to be angry at me, it is because I was a coward. It was because of my fear of being honest about who I was, about what we were, that stopped me from giving him the support that he needed. When he needed it the most, I shouldn't have abandoned him. But I did. And I am sorry.
Sorry isn't going to bring my brother back.
Orlana!
Seriously, Orlana? Fucking seriously? What the hell's wrong with you? Whoa, what the fuck is that?
Orlana!
Calden, the chime!
Help me, Cicero!
What the fuck is that thing?
Cicero!
Matron, she was hit hard.
She will require extensive healing. Her pulse is barely there. I must take her down now, or she will not survive.
Go, Zelia. We'll handle this.
Are we gonna talk about what that fucking crazy thing is in the center there?
Something is wrong. It is never this aggressive. What happened?
Orlana tried to feed it the chime, but it attacked her.
Attacked her? Ages. It's out of control. And the chime.
It took it.
Yeah, that
And
fucking
it's
thing looks like
feeding off the
Cthulhu.
song. We need to kill it. We cannot afford to let it remain like this.
What about the chime?
If we are quick enough, the song might survive. Sisters, prepare yourselves. I hope you're ready, Cicero.
As I'll ever be.
What the hell is going on? What is this thing?
Now, Cicero!
Brace yourselves.
The Mangiatore. You're really not gonna tell me what this thing is before we just randomly fight it? What the fuck is this thing? Hold on a minute. Was there ever anything in my in my case notes, in my codex about this? Chimes. Anything about the you know, Cthulhu monster at the center of the singing tree? Singing tree, ruins known as the Black Crib. Nothing. Nothing about this fucking thing. Alright. I guess we're fighting some big, crazy, creepy-looking boss. Dude, it has mouth tentacles. And elephant horns. And more weird behind the head tentacles. Okay. Sure, buddy. What are these people even doing? It's got a lot of BS purple mist around it, too. Oh, he's getting wrecked. It's immune to ensnare. Creed up. Now it's got a fire tag on it. There's some kind of crazy circle on the ground there. Oh, it just summoned a bunch of rattlers. Alright, let's bust out the old meteor storm here. I guess we'd better kill these things. I don't know what Mira Boss and the songstresses are exactly doing, but conjure a maelstrom. Get out of the shadow circle. Alright, it's got a water tag on it. Let's do this. And this. This. Let's do a creed here. And a hope spring. Now it's got a fire tag on it. Oh, it just summoned a whole bunch of nonsense. Let's get my tinder wisps out. See if we can stun it. Alright, let's put a earth tag on it. Get the ward down. Everybody get out of the shadow ring thing. Cicero, get back into the ward. We're all knocked back. Attack. 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 Another meteor storm would be great right now. Meteor storm drops down and puts a bunch of 77s on people. My lucky number. Nice. Let's move up in here and let's move up in here and creed. Let's get the Atmos ring going. Let's get the haste going. Oh, it's almost dead. We're about to win. Yeah, we got it. 2 skill points awarded. And now the chime flies through the air. Will somebody catch it? Catch it! Oh no, his brother's song is gone forever. No.
No.
It's like the last thing there was of him. So Kaladin not only lost his brother, now he lost his brother's song as well. And we know how important songs are in this culture, and the songs of the dead are, like, really important.
Thank you, Cicero. That Fae, ages knows what happened to it.
I've always wondered why you songstresses wanted to keep people out.
That isn't the reason. For all the centuries the singing tree has been here, it's never acted like this. Oh.
What are you thinking?
Something is happening. Something that we cannot see, that is on a level beyond us. It frightens me to wonder what it might be.
Indeed.
But it is settled, at least for now. As for other matters...
He's a good man, Mirabas. Saved Orlana when he could have saved the song.
And now that song is gone forever.
You will consider my request, though?
Society will not change, even if I do this, Cicero.
I'm not asking for it to. But please, even you can tell that he is deserving of better.
Perhaps I am being blinded by tradition, but I suppose I can do this. As a favor to him for saving the life of my songstress, even if she might not have been quite so generous.
Thank you, Mirabas.
I will tend to it now. I'll be back shortly.
So I guess Kaladin's off the hook. Which is good, because...
How are you feeling?
The head matron has decided to leave the Sailheart in my care. There's great consolation in that.
Yeah, because you haven't done anything wrong.
Kaladin, will you face me, please? Why? Tell me, Kaladin. Please.
Because I'm a better person than you.
Jaxus taught me that.
When I went to the Sailheart, there were children there. Did they call Jaxus their father?
They do.
Could I meet them?
Of course.
That would be nice. I think I'll see you around.
Reconciliation.
I know it's not Razatov, but...
Take your heart, take my hand. I will lead you through storm and fire. The blood may thin, the bow may break, but our cradle will e'er be shared. The wound will heal, the songs will ring, and soon again...
He got Mirabas to re-sing. He got Mirabas to re-sing the song. Isn't that what happened?
Take your hand, I await you in promised land.
That's cool.
All right, big man.
Ah, this bromance. You got her to re-sing the song and re-record it. That's cool. Alright. Let's see what's next. This game just continues to impress me with its storytelling and its narrative depth. It's an emotional game, too. I mean, it makes you feel things, and it makes you think, and it's a very philosophical game. There's so much philosophical musings that go on with the codex, and, you know, I don't know, it's good stuff. Really good stuff. Orlana Corvale III. Change is not something that comes easily to people. I do not speak specifically of the citizens of Umbra, but of our kind in general. There is resistance initially, much like how the butterfly must first struggle to emerge from its cocoon. But once that period of turmoil has passed, the lives of those involved are changed, and often as drastically as the difficulties are difficult. Certainly not all changes are for the better in this world, and many of those that are quite easily undone. But on the rare occasion when witness is born to permanent good change, the excruciation that precipitated the metamorphosis can hardly be described as ill-fated. I agree with this. Pain is the herald of change, and it is worth the pain. Mira Boss was right when she said that you could hear a smile. I hadn't completely understood what she meant when she said that, but listening to Orlana now, I think I do. So a lot of characters change as a result of the goodness of these central characters. And they change each other, and they change the people around them. Even the small side characters. Fae, Mangiatori. Long have the songstresses kept mum about the fae that resides at the tip of the singing tree. Certainly it is in record somewhere, but few ever speak of it. The songstresses have a method of clearing out the songs from chimes, so new ones can take their place. This fae must have been it. Ah, he's the one that can erase the chimes, I guess. Well, now it's dead, so I don't know if they're going to be able to replace their Mangiatori, but that thing was a pain in the ass. It was overcome by the shadow energy. That's why we had the purple mist around it, and it was summoning those shadow fae. So I want to know what the shadow energy and the shadow fae have to do with the lady, if anything. Or maybe this child looks familiar somehow. Who is this? And I can't talk to this person? I wonder if either the shadow stuff is serving the lady because she's secretly evil and shadowy, or it's part of the coming apocalypse and she's trying to counterbalance it and fight against it. It's hard to know which one of those things is the case right now, but I think it will be revealed to us eventually. The 7th Canticle. Coin and Kin. The 7th Canticle lasted for 15 Mesura, 289 to 348 IL, and with the cutting off of Umbrians from the Rondagia that wished to move to the city, came the drawing of the first line of distinction that was to shape the nation in the decades to come. With most of the Masquerada residing in the city, the gap between the Masquerada and the Contadani began to widen, mirroring the segregation that the city experienced from the Rondagia. Without any external threats to defend themselves against and unify the Masquerada, the restless power of Umbra began turning on itself, and feuds between the guilds began to erupt. The Registry could do little to control the guilds because at this time they had already lost much of their influence over the city, what with the wards that they'd given to the guilds now threatening their own territories. The Cacciatori were fashioned in 299 IL to fend off Masquerada, who saw the Randaggia as land to be claimed instead of a part of the same nation. There were great numbers of contadini that suffered because of the feuds between the Masquerada, and this allowed contadini resentment toward the Masquerada to fester. The event that broke the reservation of the contadini was the execution of Tamara de Rassi, a woman who organized groups of vigilante contadini who worked at the docks that would secretly pilfer the cargo of wealthy merchants and distribute them to the poor in an attempt to close the widening disparity between the rich and the poor. So she was basically like Robin Hood. Her execution sparked the festering resentment that the contadini harbored and inspired them to pick up arms and begin a revolution. Thus began the Bright War in 347 IL and the ending of the 7th Canticle. So that revolution is what took us into the 8th Canticle, and the 8th Canticle is what we're in right now. So the current age, the current era of history was started by this revolution. So that's why there's all this tension between the contadini and the Masquerada, and all of this sort of conflict, and all of this probably precipitated ultimately what Cyrus and his followers did. Let's see if we can come over here and read about the 8th Canticle now. What are we going to do now that it's gone? They don't know how to remove songs from chimes. No, the Fae that feed off the songs, not in the same way as the Mangiatori. They'll have to ration the empty chimes they have left. There'll be songs that go unsung, especially with the war and all. They have no other choice. Yeah, that's not good. Because it's so important to people to have their songs sung and put on the tree that now people dying and not being able to be commemorated in that way will not go over well with people. Sorry! My bad, I killed your Mangiatori. Well, you know, I kind of had to. Alright, cool. Now we can read about the 8th Canticle, which is the present Canticle. The 8th Canticle is the Canticle that we find ourselves in presently. It is currently in its 15th Masura, having begun in 349 IL, and many suspect that the songstresses are waiting for the end of the War of Bearings to declare the end of the Canticle. The Bright War ended in 352 IL. The Bright War lasted, like, 3 years. Oh, 5 years. Having lasted 5 years, I got ahead of myself there. And I said something that was wrong, right? Immediately before the actual text corrected me. Having lasted 5 years, but the songstresses did not deem the canticle over, for the end of the war was not seen as a critical point in the Song of the Ages. Instead of attitudes toward the contadini becoming better after the war, they worsened. The contadini were viewed as the cause of death of so many Masquerada, and fueled the scorn held by them. The lingering dissent and unsolved issues between the Masquerada and the contadini escalated over the years and came to a head with my brother's rebellion against the White Spire 5 years ago. Which is basically just what I said a second ago. It's pretty much what I thought. So, and that's the setting we find ourselves in this game, which is a great time out of this history to be in, because it obviously leads to a lot of drama and conflict and good stuff for a game. What's going on with this section with the what's going on with this section with 17 untouched gameplay things? That's what I want to know. Alright, so we're going to leave here and we're going to see what happens next in the story. Now that we've dealt with Calden's problem, he's good to go. We can, I guess, head back to the Astiguary and just chill. Just relax while we wait for the... But probably some more dramatic shit is going to go down. Probably, so we will see. I guess I should probably advance this so that I have my checkpoint after this point. I just didn't want a whole bunch of new stuff to happen right as I'm... Oh, here we go.
Rise, my brethren. It is found.
Should get another one of the artifacts. That was that's it. It is found. That's all we get to know. Oh, we are back at the Ostiguary.
Is your face all right? You haven't stopped smiling since we left the hall.
It's just... all my life I've lived in fear, and now... you've changed my life, Cicero.
Oh, come now. I didn't do...
You showed me that even in a city of secrets and shadows, the truth has a place in our hearts and is worth fighting for. I know the city isn't going to change because of what we've done, and the Hall of Songs probably isn't going to sail to different winds overnight. But you've made a difference, Cicero. In my life, at least. Know that.
I think I might have needed this ordeal as much as you.
Come on. Let's see if our Fae friend is back.
Okay, now we can end it. So, in our next episode, we will look around here, see who we can talk to, see what we can read, see what happens next in the story. Fantastic game. Absolutely fantastic game. So much better than I was expecting it to be. I mean, I thought it would be, I thought it would be pretty good. You know, I thought it'd be okay. But it's turning out to be exceptional, honestly. So, I'm loving it. In our next episode, we will have lots more fun with Masquerada, but that is going to do it for this one. So thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Masquerada, Songs and Shadows.